Hello everyone, this is Mary Ann. This is going to be a slightly special video. I thought I would just share with you a flip through of my Moleskine planner that I was using in 2006 to 2007. This is the very first Moleskine planner that I have used. Before this one, I was using the monthly sheets, the A4 sized um, planner sheets that had the entire month spread on them. Um, so this would be my first Moleskine planner. So let me just flip through it with you. I placed an additional pocket on there using a very thick tracing paper, and I just have some remaining stuff there, like a raffle stub, some computations for car repairs, a parking ticket. I don't know why I held onto them, but apparently in 2006 I decided that they were worth holding on to, so I just keep them there. And the heavy pocket actually resulted in the tear on the spine. And this kind of planner, it is a soft cover um, weekly notebook, which you're going to see later. I didn't have much use for the annual spreads, but I was able to mark some of the birthdays, but I wasn't able to sustain them. That is the expanded annual spreads, but as you can see, I didn't have much there. Um, More expanded annual views, mostly for birthdays. I have only family and very close friends there, and that's the spread for the time zones. And this would be the international dialing codes, and then the metric system conversion. And I just have there a scribble that I took a picture for my blog about penmanship. But before we go to the weekly spreads, let me bring you to this spread over here. It is actually a spread in which you can measure inches. So I thought it was pretty handy. This particular Moleskine notebook had the entire week on the left page and the aligned or a ruled note paper on the right page. Most of the notes that I have on there are very, very old. Those numbers don't work anymore, and those are addresses that have already been changed since. But let me see if I can find some old milestones in here. Saturday, September 9, was when I started to use a fountain pen as an adult because there is a change in ink. That is the Parker Quink Blue that was loaded into an old Schaefer that I purchased in Louis' store in Escolta. But I didn't start with a Quink Blue. I started actually with a Parker Quink Black, and I didn't like it very much. So I shifted to the Parker Quink Blue. At that time, Parker Quink was the only ink that I was familiar with there. I also purchased a fountain pen case, I think. The idea really for this kind of Moleskine planner is that you do your planning on the left and do your notes on the right, which is pretty much what I do these days, except that for me planning is on the right and tracking is on the left, and my notes are all over. At this day, October 13, I actually got the Pelikan 4001 brown ink that I showed in a previous video about all of my inks. It was also my dad's birthday, and he managed to send me two bottles of ink, the Pelikan and the Vert Rosetta from J. Urban. So that was in 2006. And then I have been using this brown ink because I really, really liked it. It was very close to copper. And that blue ink that you see there is the Waterman South Seas Blue that I talked about in a video about all of my inks. And then that dark green fountain pen ink there is the Parker Penman Emerald. It is a it has already been phased out, but it's one of my favorite inks. It's a very saturated green, much like the Diamine Sherwood green, but this one is more saturated. I didn't know Diamine then in 2006, so I had to purchase this. It came only in cartridges because the bottled inks were already phased out, so I had to use a syringe in order to load the ink from the cartridge into the pen. I did use post-its for some lists on the pages on the right, but mostly the pages for the notes were composed of things that I have spent for the week and some notes on traffic in my blog, which is still up, and some post-its as notes to myself. I kept switching inks between the Pelican brown and the South Seas blue. I think those were my favorite inks at that time in 2006. We are actually already on February and March 2007 in this flip through, and I was still on the Pelican 4001 brown. As you can see, after that first day that I started using a fountain pen, I never went back. I have been using fountain pens completely ever since, and I only use a Coletto now when I started using the Filofax just so I could do color coding in just one pen. But if there was ever a fountain pen multi-pen that has about 4 colors in one barrel, I would use that. I think I should also mention that this was the time in which the Moleskine paper was still made specially for fountain pens. They changed that at some point in 2012 or 2013, and that's when I stopped using the Moleskine, which I might have mentioned in one of my videos about my archives that I will link down below. But this particular planner was still using the Moleskine paper that was made specially for fountain pens. I don't remember what black ink that is. I haven't noted it down. I don't really remember. I think it was the Zhivago because I have a note there that says I'm testing out the Zhivago, so maybe it's the Zhivago. So I did purchase Zhivago for the first time in 2007. And as the year winded down, I think I needed to do less for work. I was working for the Philippine National Police Special Action Force at this time, and the project I was doing for them, it was a book. It was already winding down, so I didn't really need to do much. That's why there wasn't much in my planner. I didn't do tracking at the time. The only thing that I tracked was expenses. And that would be the end of December 2007 and also the end of the planner. And I have passwords at the back of it, but I don't do that anymore. In the back of the Moleskine is, as usual, the pocket, one of which it is famous for. And then I still have here the standard Moleskine pamphlet that came with all notebooks. And I have here the FedEx receipt for the Moleskine. I think, yeah, that's where I used to live. I no longer live there. Working Unit Limited is the company that sells the Moleskine in Asia. There was no store before that sold the Moleskine in the Philippines, so we had to order them online, and Working Unit Limited is the store. I purchased a bunch of Moleskines from them in preparation for the next year. I needed a planner and some journals, so that's why the receipt is there, and I will just keep them back in the pocket and put this particular volume back into my archives. This is a very much battered Moleskine. I've used it for 18 months, so it's natural to expect that it be battered. But I wasn't too happy with the soft cover. I don't think it can stand up to heavy use. And the sticker that I have there on the front, it has my name on it and the number 20. It means this is volume 20 of all of my archives, which is composed of my diary volumes as I finish them and my planner volumes as I finish them. I have explained this before in my video about all of my archives, and I will link them down below. And that is it. You just saw 18 months of my life, specifically July 2006 to December 2007, in a Moleskine planner. Now, this is not going to be a regular thing. I'm not going to do a flip through of all of my old planners. I just thought that this would be a fun thing to do for Throwback Thursday. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you again on the next flip through, which would be the flip through of my pages for July 2017. Thanks for watching. Bye.